Joining me now on set is Sean Michael Cox. He is the Director of Academic Affairs and International Programs at Bahcesehir University here in Istanbul. Thanks for coming in. Let's just establish your expectations for this report. I mean, the preliminary release was a letdown, to say the least, for those who were expecting something worthy of criminal charges. Will this full report be any different?
It's unlikely that there will be any type of smoking gun that will point directly to President Trump or his inner circle. What we're likely to see in a report is that the Trump campaign essentially ignored Russian interference in the U.S. elections and did nothing to stop it. That's my guess.
Is that criminal?
That's up for debate. One would think that they would like to protect the integrity of the U.S. election system, but they weren't functioning in an official capacity. It was a campaign. They weren't elected officials at the time. So.
Right. What about the issue of this being a redacted version? Could there be anything controversial about that, or is that the Attorney General's job to make sure that information that needs to be secure is secured?
Well, there are several versions that are going to be released. The one that I have heard about for the press conference at 9:30 this morning in the United States will be one for public consumption, and there's a less redacted version that will be released to Congress at 11 o'clock, 90 minutes later. What the difference between the two? It's hard to say. Generally, when you redact a document, it's to protect sources of information and methodologies of investigation so that foreign powers won't understand how the U.S. investigates issues such as this.
Okay. You know, one of the more disturbing things, I think, that happened, but is sometimes confusingly not worthy of criminal charges, was actually Donald Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., actually fully admitting that he met with Russian agents to receive damaging information on Hillary Clinton. How is that not, at best, cooperating with a foreign agent, which is illegal?
It's all about the spin. For example, he could say he didn't realize that she was a foreign agent, that she wasn't established in her role at that time at the meeting. He said, oh, this is just a lawyer from Moscow. He was unaware of the connections. So that gives him a level of innocence, if I can use the word.
Is it possible at all that maybe some around President Trump, including his son, for example, could go down, but he could stay in office with no issue? Some people have suggested that's what's going to happen.
I think it highly unlikely that anyone in his inner circle, including his family, will take the fall or will be subject to a fall, for that matter, when the report is fully understood. What's more likely to happen is that these suggestions of impropriety may affect his political agenda for the remainder of his first term, and it might also negatively influence his ability to campaign effectively for a second term.
Okay. Unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. Sean Michael Cox, thanks so much for joining us. Didn't even get to cover obstruction of justice, but next time. Okay. Well.